In today's diet, almost everywhere you look, one of the strongest recommendations is that to eat more vegetables and also eat different kinds of vegetables. However, there are very few places that would show you actually to accomplish this. And this is the goal of my fast cooking system, to help you to eat more vegetables. But at the same time, I'm going to also help you to combine vegetables with meat, with seafood, because most of us still would like to have meat and seafood in a small quantity, because this will make your food more interesting. So in this dish, I'm going to show you how to eat a vegetable medley that will combine with some salmon. Now in this dish, the starting point is that with some Brussels sprout. Now a lot of people will say, I don't like Brussels sprout, or they might say that it takes too long to cook Brussels sprout. I'm going to show you a method that you can cook it very quickly, usually in about 4 or 5 minutes, by cutting up into small pieces. I cut this Brussels sprout into quarters, and then I'm going to add some purple cabbage. Now both Brussels sprout and purple cabbage are high in nutritional value, also great in fibers, but they take a little bit longer time to cook. So I'm going to cook them first. I use a method called sequential stir frying by stir frying different food ingredients based on how long I want to cook them. And then next I follow by adding some eggplant. Now again, people say, well, I don't like eggplant. In this case, I'm only add a small amount of eggplant because by adding a small amount with mixing with other vegetables, you will eat the eggplant, but only in a small bite. You might not like it in the first time, but afterward, you might really start to enjoy the rich flavor of eggplant, particularly when it's in combination with other vegetables as well. And using this method, it will allow you to cook many different kinds of vegetables in the same cooking utensil, in this case in a wok. And then I follow by adding some cauliflowers. Now this cauliflower is new to me. In fact, this cauliflower frequently known as a Chinese cauliflower. It is similar to the regular cauliflower, but it has a softer texture. And consequently, it cooks a little bit faster, and it's actually turned out to me, at least for me, is more flavorful. I purchased this at a Chinese supermarket in Chicago. And then I follow by adding 2 different kinds of mushroom, which is the portobello mushroom, as well as with white mushroom. Now you notice that all of these food ingredients is only possible because I have them in advanced prepping. As you notice that I only use a small amount. And because of in advanced prepping, I do not have to worry about cutting all of them separately just before I cook. In this case, all I have to do is to look in the refrigerator and find the one that I need. And this is why advanced prepping is such an important aspect of the fast cooking system to help you to eat more vegetables. And then the next step is that I'm going to add some soy tofu puff. Now I have shown a video on how to use the soy tofu puff. The soy tofu puff is a great tofu. It has a very distinct flavor and texture. And the nicest thing is that the soy tofu puff can be soaked in hot boiling water, in which to that I add my, with Tak basic seasoning mix. It makes the soy tofu puff taste great because they absorb the fluid as well as the seasoning when I soak them. And the end result is that when you bite into it, it gives an amazing flavor. In fact, this is the flavored tofu that my wife and I enjoy. Of course, we eat other tofu too, but there are so many different kinds of tofu, and this is one that can really make the dish taste better. This is the part I'm going to season the dish. I'm going to start out with some minced ginger. My wife loves minced ginger. Now, this makes the dish unique because no other dish you will find, wherever you go to restaurants, they will have the ginger flavor that will be provided by this dish. I add the minced ginger toward the end of the cooking process, so it will have the strongest ginger flavor. And by mincing the ginger, also give it better flavor. I'm going to season the dish start out with some oyster sauce. Now, oyster sauce is a great foundation sauce almost for any type of dish. Its versatility is truly amazing, and you will find it in many Chinese restaurants. Dishes contain oyster sauce, and this then followed by some hoisin sauce. Now, hoisin sauce is a sauce with a sweet flavor, and it will give the dish a balance between salty, umami, and sweet flavor. Instead of using sugar, I use hoisin sauce because it is more flavorful since it contains other seasoning agents as well. Now, sauces are great. They are truly shortcuts for seasoning a stir-fry dish because stir-fry happens so quickly. If you add things like seasoning agent, dry seasoning agents, it will take much longer for the seasoning to be absorbed into the flavor of the dish. And you can further season the dish. In this case, I add a small amount of hot chili in oil sauce. Now, this hot chili is a fried chili in oil, and it has a great chili flavor. Very unusual. It is the chili flavor without the presence of tomato flavor, which is the case with, say, sriracha sauce or Tabasco sauce. So it has a very distinct characteristics, and it goes very well with dishes, particularly with stir-fry dishes. Now, the approach I cook this dish is not found in any other places. In fact, you can look on internet. You will never find a vegetable medley dish cooked in this manner. For a couple of reasons. One is that if you want to cook a medley dish with all these different kinds of vegetables, there's 7 different kinds of vegetables in it, you have to do a lot of prepping if you're going to prep just before you cook this dish. It is possible to cook this dish this way because of advanced prepping. And that's why I strongly encourage you to do advanced prepping. Advanced prepping is the fuel that drives the cooking system. With advanced prepping, you have different kinds of vegetables to choose from. You don't have to use all the vegetables that you have because you can use it in combination with different other dishes. And more importantly is that because of the variations that you can create, it will allow you to create dishes with much greater diversity, and the end result is that you will make your meal more interesting. The dish that I create here with this vegetable combination, I can easily switch to other type of vegetables, and that is the beauty of template-based cooking. Okay, the final step is that I'm going to put the salmon on top of this dish. Now, if you like just a vegetarian dish, you can skip the salmon. But for me, both my wife and I enjoy salmon. So I cook the salmon separately because then I can control the texture and the doneness of the salmon. I want to fry the salmon in such a way that the skin of the salmon will develop a crispy texture. So in this case, we can enjoy the skin. In fact, when the salmon cooked like this, the skin really takes on fantastic flavor. In fact, my wife really enjoyed that. Last but not the least, I'm going to garnish the dish with some scallions. A scallion basically is a substitute for onion. If you like onion flavor to a dish, then a scallion is a great to add to the dish. Of course, it also makes the dish have a more pleasing appearance with the color come from the scallion. Last but not the least, I love cashew, and there's always a recommendation that we should all eat some nuts. So why not combine this dish with some cashew? Cashew also adds a nice, interesting appearance to the dish. So the total cook time of this dish is only about 8 minutes. As you can see that this is a complex dish with 7 different kinds of vegetables. On top, it also contains cashew and salmon as well as with tofu. So as you can see that all of this can lead to great possibilities of different creativity that you can impart to your dish. But more importantly is that it will allow you to eat more vegetables, and you will actually really enjoy the vegetables. So if you want to eat more vegetables, this is probably something that you want to try. And this is what my cooking system try to achieve. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.